genre oriented as well. So that you might want to look at that. I mean, I was particularly in the horror or fantasy and stuff like that. There are film festivals geared to nothing but that. Great film festivals like Fantastic Fest, Fantasia Fest, stuff like that. Anyway, as far as the film markets go, like I said, it's just going to be a tough nut to crack if you don't have representation with you, and that means a sales agent on board. Because film festivals, there's some tough people in there.
And a good sales agent, because there's a lot of sales agents out there are going to take advantage of you and promise a lot of things, and they're bullshitting you.
Can I just say something? I want to apologize. We had somebody from Distributor who was supposed to be on the panel, and they bailed out last minute. But they're friends of mine, so if you have questions about Distributor, again, email me. I can send it directly to them.
Is that Chapman?
Chapnick and Nick Suarez, the whole gang. All right.
On the festival circuit, judging, would anyone like to comment on the value of networking and, even regardless of its size, what other filmmakers are there that you're exposing yourself to for your future projects?
I'll talk to that.
Valuable consideration. How much
Sure.
does it affect?
That's on my list of
I'll-
reasons to go to film.
I'll talk about that. After my first film, I was so tired after my first film. The film went to like 30 festivals. I went to a ton of them. I had a little 1-year-old, and I was like, second festival. I was like, I don't really want to go. But I'm so glad I went this time because our film premiered at Mill Valley, and we got into I think we had 15 film festivals within the next 3 weeks all around the country. And so I went to 6 or 7 of them, and my partner went to the rest of them. And it was amazing. It was just so great to finally see how people responded to the movie. We met a reviewer at the Chicago Film Festival who had written our capsule review in the program, and it was like an amazing review. And so I introduced myself, and he just kept raving about the movie. And so when we released theatrically last week, he gave us his first ever 4-star review on RogerEbert.com. And, had we not connected in person and let him know that we were releasing, that review may never have come to fruition. And I've met tons of filmmakers. I've been offered jobs from people I met at film festivals. My first film, there was a producer, director I met at the Naples Film Festival in Florida, which is a festival I really love. He helped us get into landmark theaters in Boston. Whenever I have a cut to show, I will call my top director friends who I think are, super smart, and they're often people I met at film festivals to watch the first cut. So I think it's incredibly valuable because it's people either at your level or advanced of your level, but I think there's, these days especially because theatrical's compressed, where you're going to meet other great filmmakers is going to actually be at these film festivals. It's harder to meet people in LA than it is at film festivals.
I'll give just one real quick example. I went to go see a movie, Sundance. I worked for Sundance for 14 years. So I was with an Egyptian in the balcony, and I was watching the short film The Rambler in front of that terrible biker movie that Tarantino produced, the Hell Ride, I think it was called. Anyway, so I saw that short. It blew my mind. I looked at my partner at the time, a business partner, and said, well, I got to find that kid and make a movie. 2 years later, in the same balcony, the same day, we screened a feature film with that director. So it's you make relationships when you go to these film festivals. You really do. You can.
And you might meet your next investor. If you go to Sonoma, which is not an important film festival as far as selling your film or something, there's a lot of wealthy people that that live in Sonoma, who might really dig what you're doing, and then come up to you, and you might kind of be reeling them into as an investor for your next film or something.
You had a question?
Yeah, any advice for online markets that they're looking for original content like Hulu, Netflix?
I know Vimeo. After we won the Vimeo award, we talked to them. They have this Share the Screen initiative that they announced at Sundance, and so I've talked to them about sending content that they would develop. They actually wanted to distribute Light Beneath as a day and date thing with Emerging, as a part of that Share the Screen event. We declined, but so that's Vimeo has 3 tiers of the way that they are screening films. They're originals, which I guess they produce. They have the Share the Screen initiative, which they just started, and then they have just regular user uploaded content. So that's something I know about. I'm sure other places do too. I don't know. With Vimeo, it was only because we won the award that I was able to get to them, and they're so busy. So I mean, I don't know. You can call. I don't know.
And sorry
Anyway,
to speed through
persistence always
these.
makes.
That's, my business partner would have been
Oh.
able to answer those questions. That's what he does all day.
So
There's
track
some-
down Cole Payne's email address.
That's right.